Hello and welcome to a child-friendly introduction to photography. Today we're going to be looking at portraits showing a person's character. We're going to go into three different levels. If it's you're a beginner, you can just take the first section and just get on with that. If you want a bit more information, then we have a second level, and then we're going to go on to an advanced level at the end. Okay, so let's dive in and let's get going. So we are going to be looking at taking a picture of one person. That's basically what we mean by portraits. Portraits are usually more formal, more business-like, a bit more serious, but not too serious, obviously. We've also heard of profile pictures, which are the thing at the moment. So obviously everyone's got like social media accounts and things like that. Your parents will know about that. So we're looking at something a bit more relaxed, but a bit business-like as well, you know. So that's the sort of medium we're going for. We're not going to be dealing with mugshots, which you might have heard of, which are just randomly taking pictures, not so flattering, of a person. And passport ID pictures, obviously they have their place, but that's not what we're going to be doing. So obviously we're going to be referencing that because we're trying to avoid that sort of look. Okay, so let's get going. Don't forget our composition is obviously very important indeed. We need that rule of thirds to put our eyes on one of the lines there, because obviously that's our impact points. When you naturally look at a picture of a person, you'll straight away go to the eyes first, and then your eye wanders around the frame from there. Okay, so let's get going. We need to kick off with turning our camera 90 degrees. That's our portrait format as it's known. So that's basically a nice little frame for a portrait. We're going to sit our subjects, our person, about 2 meters away from a background. Just check it's not distracting for any reason. And you're going to be about maybe 2 meters or so from them as well. Okay, so just get that organized. Then you're going to probably need to zoom in your lens about 3 or maximum 5 times. You'll see why later when with some examples why we do that. And we need to fill the frame. Obviously, we don't want too much background at all. We want a bit of background to show a bit of whatever's going on, but mostly it's obviously about the person. Head and shoulders or half body is basically what we're looking for. Make sure the eyes are very focused. That's very important indeed. And just make sure your person that you're taking a picture of is nice and relaxed and in the mood. Okay, this is why we zoom in a bit, because on the left you can see nice picture, it's a bit of fun, but you can see the distortion there. The person's face may not look like them, it's a bit sort of round and distorted, and the background is obviously very distorted indeed, and all the things that are straight are all bent, so that's not going to work for our portrait. On the right is a bit more like a portrait. You've got a very natural looking face, and other techniques have gone into making that looking a very excellent portrait picture. Another example, person on the left, someone's gone straight in with a wide angle lens. You've got very distorted face, and it doesn't look particularly natural, even though it's a bit of fun. The one on the right obviously is taken with a zoom lens, and it's more natural perspective, and it looks more like a person, and obviously the background is nice and blocked out. These are some other examples. The person on the left, obviously you've got head and shoulders. The middle one, the person at the party, you've got the half body shot, and the person on the right, sort of quarter body basically. So, some different examples of what you can do. Okay, so if that's enough for you, you get cracking with that. So if you want some bit more information, we will dig into level 2. So we'll have to think about our background. It's quite important, because that will show you where the person is, what they're doing, maybe what they're interested in, or what they're trying to do, or what the picture's for, really. This will give it flavour, and it will add to the person's character and what they're trying to achieve. The zoom lens, as we said before, will help just avoid distorted faces. It's just the way that the lenses are constructed and the way the eye works. You'll need to sort of move the person's shoulder, ideally, about 45 degrees to the lens, so you don't see a flat-on picture of their shoulder, and it's not square on like a passport picture, which doesn't look particularly good. It can look good sometimes, but it's best to avoid that. It gives it more depth in the picture. Also, the most important thing is you're taking a picture of someone else, and they have to like the picture. That's quite tricky. So you have to sort of work with the person to get them to like the picture. So you obviously need to talk to them, get them relaxed, get them in the right frame of mind, show them the pictures you've taken. Maybe they will want a bit of improvement, so you go ahead and retake a few and hopefully get some success. And the eyes must be nice and pin sharp if you can. That gets the attention. Right, well, so this is why we need to, the background is quite important for portrait pictures. We've got 3 completely different examples here of the background being completely different, showing the person in a completely different environments. On the left, obviously nice and sunny, and one in the middle is in an indoor studio, and then that's one of me actually snowboarding halfway up a mountain with the valley in the background. Okay, so all of those pictures have had the frame filled with the main subject, and the background gives it the location, gives it the atmosphere. Okay, right, now let's get moving on to super advanced section then. Okay, so we're going to look at ways we're going to get it even better than before. We're going to look at 4 things which will literally put the icing on the cake for your portrait pictures. We're going to look at locking the focus on the eyes. We're going to look at blocking the background and using texture, and we're going to be experimenting and exploring portrait settings on the cameras, and if that makes any difference to you or it's more convenient or not, depending on what you want to do, and working with your subject. This is probably the biggest, most important thing in the whole subject, really. So let's crack on. Away message. First, let's have a look at focus lock. Right, your camera will probably focus right in the middle. So we don't really want that. That's not going to help us with our eyes, because our eyes are going to be on probably about a third of the way up the frame. So you start off with pointing the camera at the subject. Right, see the middle frame. You've got you put aim your shutter, aim your viewfinder at the person in the middle, and then you half press the shutter. This will lock your focus, and then you just literally move your camera to recompose your picture, and then you press the shutter all the way. It takes a bit of practice, but you'll get the feeling. Sometimes there's little lights go on when it's in focus, and then you can move it around to give you a bit of idea of what's going on with the camera. So try using the focus lock if the camera has one, and see what difference it makes with your pictures. Okay, we need very sharp focus on the eyes. Here's 3 pictures of eyes being very important in the picture. One on the left, the composition is a bit more dramatic. I've got the subject from a totally different angle, but the eye is nicely focused, and it's on the rule of thirds. The guy in the middle is obviously showing what he does, and in the environment he does, but the eyes, he's looking at the objects in front of him, so it's all keen on the eyes. The person on the right is taken in low light, live on stage, so they're looking, it's where the eyes are looking. It's all very important to the frame. So we're going to move on to another technique called blocking. This is used quite a lot in studio photography, books and magazines. It's used to get away any distractions and add a bit of texture and flavour to the image. Watch out for negative space. Obviously, we've covered that before, but as you can see on the examples, the background is pretty much either just there for texture or colour. That's it. Okay, and we're going to listen to some other ideas of blocking. Some very famous one on the left there. It's a black and white photograph. The subject is completely blocked out, so there's no distractions at all. It's just about the expressions on their faces. And obviously the fashion photographs on the right give you another idea. Okay, and some more examples. More fashion on the left, and then we've got a travel photograph with a bit of texture there, adding a bit of, location really, and a bit of interest. Right, so we're going to also, for section 3, we're going to explore your portrait setting on your camera. Now, not all cameras have this, and they might be in different places. So this will set the camera automatically to blur the background and various other aspects as well. You may have to dig into the menu and find out. There's usually a lady's head icon of some sort to find out, and then you basically locate that. And I suggest what you do is take some pictures normally, and then go and find the setting, and then take another picture or 2, and then try and compare them, and then also compare that to actually finding the menu. And some people find it's a bit too much work to go and find this icon to take a picture if they know a few basic rules like we've just been saying. So we'll try that. It may or may not work out for you. I personally never use it, because I obviously use other techniques that we were already explaining. All right, here is the main one. This could keep you going for forever, really. Working with your subject. Right, so you're going to be working with different people, and they're all different, obviously, and your pictures are going to be different. So your relationship or the way you work with other people is paramount to getting a good picture, really, because you want them relaxed, you want them to be happy with the picture you've taken, and you need to obviously listen to them. It's about more. It's less to do with the photography at this stage. It's more to do with communication and people skills. Okay, right. So let's have a look at our summary. We're now doing things differently. What have we noticed? What have we now picked up? Did it help you take better pictures? And were they more interesting? Or does that make sense that you've already done things like that before? Okay, getting bombed with messages at the moment. Sorry about that. Right, so well done. So you can have a little practice, and then you can use some of those skills next time you go out and do something more interesting, like go traveling, go for walks, hobbies, interests, you name it. All right, that's it for now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.